of laws. Grace Nyanga, KTN.
The National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, has urged the youth, fondly referred to as Gen Z, to come out in large numbers and register as voters so they can participate in the upcoming general election. Speaking in Nakuru, bishops from various religious groups have also warned against bribing voters and intimidating rival candidates to force them out of the electoral process, saying such actions undermine democracy. They have further issued new guidelines to preserve the sanctity of the pulpit against being turned into political platforms. This story was prepared by Ken Geshui and voiced by Chebet Birir.
Speaking after a two-day conference in Nakuru, the bishops have appealed to the young people, fondly referred to as Gen Zs, to present themselves in their numbers and register as voters for their voice to be heard in the next general election.
The vision of a better Kenya you painted in your hearts, and the word will be realized when you become active drivers and actors in the electoral process. Your active participation as voters and candidates will nullify the narrative being peddled that the election will be leaked. For sure, the only thing that can be done is keeping the Gen Z away from the polls.
Under the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, the bishops cautioned that voter bribery and the use of coercive tactics to pressure competing candidates out of elections pose a serious threat to Kenya's democracy.
The open bribery of voters with money, food, goodies, and promises, coupled with buying out of aspirants and huge sums of money, is killing democracy. If this is a precursor of how things will be in 2027, then Kenyans have even reason to worry. We advise all voters to reject and refuse to vote for any candidate associated with bribery, intimidation of opponents.
To safeguard the church as a place of worship, the council has issued directives to religious leaders to ensure that politicians do not use the altar as a political podium.
All monetary and material contributions should be treated as offering and should not be announced or given with fanfare. 3, politicians should not be around to address congregants inside the church, but instead speak to the people outside the church building after the service. 4, church leaders must remain objective and non-partisan and avoid endorsing or opposing any political leader or party.
At the same time, they have called on the national commissions established under the Constitution to independently and objectively carry out their mandate to guarantee unity, cohesion, and justice for Kenyans as the political space heats up.
Instead, they are being used to perpetuate injustice in the nation. We call upon the holders of these offices to either execute their mandates or vacate the positions.
A section of Muslims in Nairobi have sought the intervention of the Attorney General Dorcas